Good morning and welcome to the Moopsyverse. I have nothing clever to add to that today. It's just the Moopsyverse.
Don't count on me. I have nothing clever to say either. So yeah, I was like, yeah, well, mm, I've taken this job in this company because I was told that these shifts are kind of stable. There's no need to like swap because everyone's all over the place. Like we have people in the US, in the Asian, and in the EU time zones. We have enough people to like spread the shifts accordingly so everyone's in their time zone. There's no need really to do 24/7 move abouts and like
Mm-hmm.
night shifts and stuff like that. So I don't really see why they have to like look for that. I understand that sometimes like they need to move some resources because if someone is
Sure,
absent and
sure.
such, but still, like, it's the difference between like having that done happening on like a day or two when someone's like sick or something, but it's a completely different if your entire month, week is gonna be moved about and
Oh,
you have
yeah,
to
no.
rework your entire life because like, oh, we don't want to plan ahead. We don't want to pay people more money. We just want everyone to
We
like
want to make
sacrifice their
our
private
lives
life.
easier.
Yeah, that's I mean. If it's going to come to the point when they will just start forcing people else, then okay, then I'd like to inform you that I'm looking for a different position in a different company when I will be able to keep my hours, and
Yeah, no,
you
no,
just
no.
have to be dealing with that because I'm like I respect my private life, which I will not be sacrificing for work. Like no, my work is not my life. There's a reason why I never applied for any upper level job because like if you want to be a shift lead, which is technically, less technical, less annoying in terms of like dealing with tickets themselves, which is easy
Mm-hmm.
position, but you'd work 24/7 for whatever reason. And I'm like, well, that's one of the reasons why I never applied to it because I don't
Yeah.
want to lose the stability of my life. So yeah, I told my boss frankly that this is how it is and this is the presumption I came into the company. I didn't imply that, I will quit if something
Oh, yeah,
changes,
yeah.
but
Yeah, you're not
yet, but
stupid.
no, I'm
I mean,
not
you're
gonna
not
say that
taking
I'm not.
a upper management positions, which qualifies you as not making stupid decisions.
That's their decision that they don't want to pay more money to people because capitalism is stupid that way. But that's not my problem, and
There you go, but not your problem. Let's
no,
see. I meant
no
to.
one told them to that this is necessary. And know where they came with the idea. I mean, their excuse was like, oh, because people couldn't even get paid overtime. Because like if someone was like working overtime in only during daily hours and not their night shift, they would never get to paid extra. Which is like, what? If someone doesn't take overtime or doesn't want to take overtime, they won't do it, and it doesn't matter if they get paid extra because they work night shift. Because by law, you have to get to pay like
Yeah.
extra full
No, no,
night
no,
shifts or
I
not.
totally
That's
get
their
that.
prerogative. That's their prerogative. I don't understand why that would be used as an excuse to introduce flexible shifts just as a real reason. I see the real reason because I can see through companies' motivations and stuff because they immediately after they announced it, they said that starting January there will be no overtime, paid overtime stuff. Like, yeah, well, a lot of people will not be happy with just that alone. And now if you force them to worse hours than they have because well, that's how things work now, then they're gonna have more quitters even without forcing people to inconvenient shifts, even with that. So, it's gonna be interesting.
That's going to be, yeah, interesting. Yeah, I was just listening to a story about something similar here. Generally, you need to get somebody's cooperation to get them to change a shift. If they've got an agreement that they're going to work X, Y, or Z shift, and you switch it around without getting their buy-in to it, things do not go well. But I was just listening to the story of a guy whose boss decided, hey, I'm going to change your vacation even though I've already approved it.
That's a no-go.
Well, the guy's like, I don't really have an option here. So he said, okay, not happy about that, but okay. as he's going home, his brother's like, "Hey, we still have that position open at our company. It's a perfect fit." And I was like, "Fine." Goes over, interviews for it on day one of his vacation, gets the job, spends the next 2 weeks, which would have been his vacation, cleaning up and doing vacation-y type stuff that if you're at home. And with the new job, he gets the vacation he wanted. So he's not only got 2 weeks off before he starts the new job to do vacation stuff, he's going to take the vacation he wants. Day before he's supposed to go back to work, he lets his boss know, "Hey, not coming back." And I was like, but you can't do that." "Yes, I can. It's an at-will state. Same thing that let you change my vacation. Lets me quit with no notice."
Yeah.
And apparently
That's
they couldn't hire anybody and got more people who quit during the meantime because all of a sudden everybody's overworked and overstressed.
I don't understand who really came up with that idea. Like, it's just unreal. To, like, in our reality, it's just like, you can have a lot of quitters here.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yep, yep.
like my friend that I've been with here in this company literally transitioned from my previous job, from the previous company, which we
Mm-hmm.
were also together with. Um, like she said that she's already not happy with the fact that they're removing the overtime because she put like she's trying to buy a piece of land
Yeah,
for a home, and she's trying to accumulate as much money as she can so she has enough of her personal input into a potential loan or something.
I totally get that.
And yeah, she was using like overtime, doing the weekends and doing the day, so she would stay like 1 or 2 hours longer if possible. And she would get that paid, not
Mm-hmm.
returned in days, but like paid. And the company was fine with that for the past 4 years until now, when they've introduced the flexible scheduling, aka we don't want to pay you extra, so you'll force everyone else to switch their shifts, whether they like it or not. I mean, technically they can do it. As far as I know, managers don't want to do it because they realize that this is a very sensitive topic, and if they do it
Oh,
forcefully, there will be consequences which the company might not recover properly from for a while.
yeah. No, I
So
totally understand that.
I'm just wondering who was the bright mind, aka the stupid idiot, that came up with that? Because honestly, another
Yeah,
thing
there
that
is
the
that.
company made stupid is that we have a certification company. I told you about them, that they do certifications, that they do them remotely and
Mhm.
stuff.
Oh, yes, you have mentioned them. Good morning,
But their
grass.
Good morning.
incompetence, eh, their incompetence is so bad that their reviews oscillate around 1 star out of 5, and people saying if there was a lower mark, I would have given it.
We
And
give you a worse rating, but there isn't a worse rating.
yeah, there's just no negative stars, which we would totally give you if there was a possibility. So that's how bad the company is, and as an international company, it's a known thing that they are just bad at their job. They're just insufferable, and their rules are not really well described. They don't adhere to the remaining rules that are there. So it's like,
No, such a thing. How can such a thing exist? Companies that don't follow their own rules.
I know, right? This is
No.
unthinkable, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's an interesting take. But someone literally must have got paid to sign a contract with such an incompetent company without even Googling their reviews on simple Google. Like you just can do that now, that you can check literally every company on Google and see what people say about them. And more or less, even
Oh.
if like people be overly negative, you can get a gist of what's what, right?
Mm-hmm.
And figure out that, oh, maybe we don't want to work with them. And like you try to be the company that excels at everything, and you try and want to be the top. You want to be the one that covers all the angles, because they really do. Like my company really tries to like get all the angles in e-discovery business, from gathering the data, from ingesting the data, from processing the data, to producing it, to releasing it for like court cases, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So from every single aspect, they withhold the data on inactive users, and they can still like maintain, make sure that it's not deleted, etc. So they can secure it in place, like an Outlook PSD file and stuff like that. So that data can be later collected, ingested, processed. We have AI solutions, which this is the one time I don't mind that we're utilizing AI, because it is to make stuff easier further people. So like, it doesn't make anyone lose their job because this data is still needs to be later on processed by
Yeah,
humans,
no,
lawyers, that they need to be able to search for the
no, that
information.
is a great application for AI, and there's a couple
But
others that
yeah,
are
A-
great uses for it. Not that humans
but
couldn't
AI,
do it, but it is tedious, monotonous work, and why
it
not
would,
let a
yeah,
machine do
it takes a
that?
lot of time, and with the amount of data that is still accumulated, you need to find a way to shorten the time that it takes to get through all of this. Imagine a volume of 4 terabytes of data, and it's all emails.
Oh God.
Go through that, all the attachments, you have to verify every single word that is mentioned there, including in the attachments, which can be a PDF, it can be whatever. That all of that can need to be digested in a way that you don't miss a thing, but you find information that you really need to, like a single word that says that it can be used as an evidence in a court case
Mm-hmm.
against someone. And
Mm-hmm.
it comes from like small businesses, it comes to big businesses, mostly lawyer firms, but we have Department of Justice that is our big customer, U.S. Department of Justice, all other U.S. companies. We have Google, we have Microsoft as a customer. So there's a lot of them. There are sometimes really big, high-profile things, and when they have to sue someone over something, they really need to get to the bottom of things.
Yeah.
So use of AI, this is one time I'm not pissed off that we're using AI because it's not making getting anyone out of work, even in that lawyer company reality.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like making the life easier because you can just literally, okay, can you get me a summary of what's being said in this thread of emails? Gives you the summary, refers to specific points, points you to specific sentences so you can pick that out, mark it for later, so it's going to be easier to process. Instead of like, well, I have to read every single email for the next 5 hours because that's what I did 20 years ago.
May
So
I go off
yeah,
on a slightly different tangent about AI and the legal processes here in the U.S.?
sure.
Some lawyers, there's a couple of them that I know of, decided to allow AI to write motions for a case where they're asking the court to do something. And the AI wrote it in format, did it correctly, but it made up its own citations.
Uh-oh.
It just created it out of whole cloth. The citation does not exist, and the judge is reading through it going, huh, that's an interesting citation. Let me look that up. Let me call the lawyers in here. Where did you get this? Well, and they finally admit they used AI and they're getting sanctioned, penalized for it. But it's turning into
Thank
a thing.
goodness.
People are using AI to do their legal work, the stuff they went to school for 7 years for, paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for. Oh, yeah.
I'm terrified
Yeah.
that today people use like Grok or like and some sort of AI like ChatGPT for like every single query they ever have on a daily
Well,
basis.
honestly, here's the use for AI. You get all your research, you get your citations, put it all together, and you ask AI to put it in format for you. Great. What a great
Yeah,
application.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because honestly, doing format can be mind numbing. Courts here,
Okay.
every court's a little different. You
Yeah.
may be told you can do this font, this margin, this kind of indentation, this kind of spacing, blah, 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 blah. And the court for the next district down the street does it slightly differently just to make your life heck.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Use AI for that kind of garbage so it knows every court. But yeah, you have to do your own research. You have to know what you want to put in there. You have to argue your case in your own head. But we're here for the pew pew. You guys want to shoot some stuff?
Sure. I've got phaser and disruptor damage in space to do.
I got diddly and squat to do. Mine's all on the ground. What have you got, Graz?
Uh, destroy dreadnoughts.
Oh, well,
That's very static.
it is, but I have to say this. Today's endeavor is Hive Onslaught, but it doesn't start for 6 hours or 5 hours.
Aw, bummer. I'll have
Which
to
means
look
we're
at it
going to have
later.
to do it twice. Oh no, the horror.
Oh no.
Speaking of horror, I was putting away my
Yes?
Christmas ornaments, and I have all the boxes saved for them for each of my Star Trek ornaments. I'm putting them away. I cannot find my Klingon D7. I had a D7 ornament. I have the box for it, and I can't find the ornament. I am heartbroken. It's not on the tree.
No
It's
good.
admittedly it's really hard to see. I mean, it might have its cloak on. I can't find it on the tree anywhere. I'm gonna have to go buy it all over again. I'm very mad. It's from a couple of years ago too.
Kind of fallen under some furniture or something.
No, my living room's really small, and where I put up everything is really small, and all the boxes I kept everything in is really small. So it's possible that the box was always empty from one of my previous incarnations. And I just kind of threw it back in the box and never paid attention to it. But my thought is it was up on the tree and it's stuck somewhere in the tree or it's just gone.
Could be.
Let's see.
I mean, those things could mask themselves really well.
Somehow, you saying that reminded me of I saw a Star Trek meme.
Mm-hmm.
The ships in the bottle.
Yeah.
And Klingon. It had a Klingon bird of prey ship in the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing they saw was the bottle, completely empty.
So.
The joke is the bird of prey's closed.
Oh, good. Oh, goody. I just found them online starting at $30, which is what they were
At
in the
least it
store.
went
Oh,
up.
somebody's got it for $10, but it's used. That's why. Okay.
Ooh, did I mention?
No, you didn't.
I got myself a new Lego set.
Oh, what'd you get?
This one is a small one, but I wanted it forever, and it was like very cheap on one of our online stores. It's the Lego Game Boy, and I just couldn't help myself because I never owned a Game Boy. I always wanted it, but my dad was always so cheap, and he always thought video games are for kindergarten kids.
You're making that sound like a bad thing.
He made it sound like a bad thing. So he was very against video games at a certain age. As soon as I was at school, he would just never buy me anything. So, I was lucky when he actually brought me something. It was a pirated game, but I was lucky. So I never got a Game Boy. I always wanted one. And this is like, yeah, right now buying a Game Boy that is, the old school 1989 one is like buying a modern console because they're like have a collector's value most of the time right now. Now would be very feeling bad if I would purchase something that used to be cheap, and now it isn't because it's no longer manufactured.
Right.
But this is like the next best thing because it literally is just 1-to-1 the right size of the Lego game, the real Nintendo Game Boy, the original one, the gray one. It's got pushable buttons and the D-pad. It's got exchangeable screens, which are also 3D. So, and depending on the angle you look at, they will animate.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this is so cute. I want it. It has even cartridges with 2 games with originally looking stickers and everything. So it's just like it looks like a real thing from a distance. And I'm like, okay, this is the closest I'm ever gonna get. But I want it and I got it and it's coming today. I'm so excited. You were saying?
I was going to say, hi, Cliff. Cliff, did you want to join us to do Hive Onslaught? Oh, I don't see you in game yet.
Right, I've done my arthropods because I've got like 5 or something. So
I've got 20 tears on the ground and
down.
AP damage on the ground, which obviously those two will take care of themselves on their own in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Sent a fleet invitation to an old fleet mate who'd been out of game for a while, and he's never accepted the invitation, so I gotta try and figure out what's going on there. I'm a little distracted.
Maybe he didn't get it. Maybe he had a different screen on foreground and just clicked through everything
maybe
via escape.
The holidays or something.
Yeah.
It happens. Oh, that's why I didn't do that. I have to get rid of some of this stuff in my inventory. Sigh. I can't get rid of stuff in my inventory because I don't have room in my inventory to get rid of stuff in my inventory.
Don't you have anything you can like discard?
No, and this is all fun stuff, or it's not great, but I'm bringing over some tunes from a different account.
So
and I thought, well, I'll need to get them up to speed kind of quick. So I've got everything they could need when they come over here because I'm going to have to recreate them. So it's like as soon as I put
So
them
you
over
have
here,
a couple of basic batteries if you use them.
yeah, I can, but I don't generally. Got other stuff here I use. Let's see what we got there. Batteries. We'll do this one. Good morning, Mr. Dave. You are up early. Throw those in the consumables. That can go there. That can go there. That can go there. If I ever clean this out, the fleet bank, which is already starting to fill up with prizes, is going to fill up with prizes. Why do we have food in the fleet bank, in the prizes?
Tracy put it there, can't you?
Pardon?
You can Tracy put it down and then
Yeah,
yell
I
at
can, but I'm not going to yell at somebody for that. What I am going to do is I'm going to go through, collect all the food, put it together because there's a spot for it in a different fleet. We have a fleet that just holds that stuff. And then I'll probably sell it anyway. Yeah, Gerhard Prime is our holding bank. We hold out all our junk there. So we have 2 that are set up just for recipes. We have 1 that's set up for food. We have some that are set up just for winter stuff that isn't food or that, like anything weird. And then we have another one that we do just for the summer stuff. Might have to start a fleet just to hold all my summer stuff. Mr. Cliff, jump in the game as soon as you're here. We will launch for Hive Onslaught. I still haven't figured out what movie to watch tonight. Just trying to think of something more lighthearted, because we'll do Star Trek next week. We'll do Star Trek 2 the week after that. So I was watching the Equinox episode last night. Whatever happened to the crew after they joined Voyager? That blonde was pretty and would have been a good side character. Oh, you're on your other account. Okay. That's
they were assumed they were part of the crew, but they were never returned to.
They weren't good enough to get that contract for an ongoing character. That's what happened to them.
I mean, they were probably contracted just for 2 episodes, and that was it.
Yeah.
But it was assumed that the Voyager crew kind of replenished resources in terms of like they had losses up until that point. They had crewmen that died, so this was kind of like just let's assume they maintain the same number that they return home with. It's just like they got refresher. I mean, that was a kind of good idea.
Mr. Dave says they joined lower decks.
And actually, that might have been true.
All right, we have a party here. I'm going to queue us up for Hive Onslaught, with the irony being Hive Onslaught is the universal endeavor tonight. Wee woo.
Wee woo. Wee woo. Can't stop myself from yawning all day.
So I did my last of my tax payments for 2025 yesterday, and I knew it was going to be bad. I'd already talked to my money guy about it, so he was aware it was going to be bad, but it's still one of those looking at it, doing the numbers, going, oh, ow, 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 ow.
Holy smokes.
Well, it's the first year I've done it single, owning a house, not having a job, so it just threw all of my parameters out the door. And I'm sure I'm going to take it to my tax guy to be official, and he's going to be like, you grossly overpaid, or boy, do we owe them money. It's going to be one of those 2 things.
Hopefully it's you overpaid.
I hope so. I tried to do the standardized deductions, because last year I only owned the house for a couple months, so that's not a good basis. But hopefully it won't be horrible, or best case scenario, it's real close.
If it's bad, hopefully it's you owe $20.
Yeah. Well, I had everything kind of planned out, and then the last month of December, it's like, oh, I really need to do this, and pay off a few bills. And I didn't want it to hold into January, so I paid it all. which meant taking a lot of money out, which means paying a lot of taxes. I hate paying taxes.
We all.
Yeah. For next year, it's one of those. Just budget for it. Put away money every month now that you know what it's going to be. There. You didn't need your eyeballs, did you, Chris?
I'm fine here. I don't see any
Oh, okay.
blurring stuff. I went below.
See if, oh, no, I can't do that. I suppose if you blow up all of that stuff, you should not stand in the middle of it while it's exploding.
Is that an advice from personal experience?
It is now, yes.
Yeah, just so you die.
I dropped a whole bunch of stuff and didn't move to the side, yes?
Or you can have good resilience against worker breaches.
I don't. This is like my 2 ships from Taz, who I do not know how he survives them, but these ships are great on the attack and terrible if they get hit. They just explode. But as long as I don't die, they're super effective. Oops, there's a sphere there. That's interesting. 2 cutscenes.
I got one.
Man, there's so much debris here, I can't find the other one. There it is.
I just tab and have made game find it for me.
Subnuke, yay.
There was no need. She didn't even do the repulse.
No, it isn't the end, but it is for the moment. All right, so Mr. Dave says they made a big deal about the ship plaque. Felt like Janeway's morality was tested and tarnished. Janeway is a moral quagmire.
What?
Her morals change really, really quickly when circumstances require her to get tested. That's not always a bad thing. Who's joined us? Who has joined us? What the hell?
I mean, Janeway's main priority was taking the crew home because
Right.
she felt like
Right, and
kind of like a mother to them, also responsible for their fate, and
oh, I
she
get
just
that.
took upon herself to get them home.
But she
at whatever
will.
cost.
She will do what she
Most.
needs to do to get that done.
Yeah.
So it's.
But like, she would never go as far as the Equinox crew, but she kind of eventually just let it. She took it too personally. Like, she felt like whatever the Equinox crew did to those energy beings that were from, I think, different plane of existence, too personally. Like, it tarnished the entire Starfleet. Like, it cast the shadow on not only the crew of Equinox and their captain, but also like an extension to everyone in Starfleet, because she realized that anyone could literally just be desperate enough to get to that point, and it really pissed her off.
Yeah,
and
but
she just wouldn't want to stand that.
It's an interesting premise.
But, like,
and
it is a good premise,
and it's one reason that episode's so good.
Yeah. I loved it when she was just like, even people around her from her crew that technically felt like they knew her, including Tuvok, felt like, we're overstepping here, ma'am.
Yeah.
We're overstepping here, ma'am. Ma'am, what are you doing?
Oh yeah.
Stop doing this.
Mr. Dave goes
resorted to torture, so like, oops.
Let's see. To quote Pacific Rim, but to paraphrase it, to destroy monsters, we became monsters.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mr. Dave goes on to say, I didn't realize how much Robert Picardo has so much focus in Voyager, which at times doesn't make sense for the storylines. Yeah, but he's a really good actor, and therefore he gets a lot of roles in there. When it comes to acting, they didn't always have the strongest actors. He is a good actor.
I mean, they had okay actors. I think most of the main cast was really great. I didn't care for Harry Kim as a character, nor the
Oh, I'm
actor
talking not as
Garrett
characters. I'm
Wang.
talking actors.
Yeah, Garrett Wang wasn't like my favorite choice for for Voyager in general. I just didn't care for him too much. Cass wasn't the best
No.
choice acting wise either. I mean, she had. I mean, I think it's more of a fault of of the writing though, because when she got that episode when she was taken over by an alien and he was controlling her body and he was some sort of like tyrant of sorts, and she could like go all the way through in that role. That was amazing. I was like, oh my goodness, she can act. But the thing is, she never got the prop because her character was like kind of written as a background
Hmm.
character. She was not one of the protagonists. We learned stuff about her, but it was inconsequential in the long run. I mean, yeah, she evolved, but like she was one of the few Ocampa that actually evolved, but we still didn't understand a lot of dynamics. Um,
Well,
Garrett, yeah, I don't. I have nothing against him as a person. I
oh, he's
just
a
don't
great
think
person.
he's an amazing actor. Like I don't think he's really well dramatic wise. He was just always. I don't know.
He wasn't well
He was not.
utilized. Well,
That might be so.
Classic
That
Trek,
might be
whether
so.
it's TOS or TNG, and even DS9, tends to focus on the uh, triumvirate. We've got the three central characters that represent different aspects of the ship crew. So you've got your Kirk, Spock, McCoy. You've got your Riker, Picard, and Worf.
Data.
Data, yeah,
Data.
Data would probably be the better one. Again, three different aspects. When you get to DS9, you've definitely got Cisco, Kira, and Odo more than Dax, in my opinion.
Yeah, Dax was not the main one. No.
Right. I mean, she was a really important part with Cisco, but I think with Kira, Odo, and Cisco, you had more of that core triumvirate. You don't have that in Voyager. Janeway becomes a complete standalone. She interacts.
They only get that in seasons 4 till 7 because they have the triumvirate between Janeway, Doctor, and Seven, but they don't have that for the first 3 seasons.
But you
They
still
are like
actually have the Doctor and Seven more as a standalone from Janeway. Yes, they're the three central characters, and you see most of the stories written around them, but you don't have that tighter interpersonal relationship that you get with the other series.
I mean, I think that was kind of a more of a fresh approach. They might have
It's fine. It's
wanted
just
to
that
try something different.
I think it would have worked better if they had made that relationship between the three stronger.
Yeah, if there was into dynamic between Janeway, Doctor, and Seven, but they were like working in a tandem more
Hmm.
closely. But it was like either Janeway and Seven, or there was Doctor and Seven, but they were never in trio.
Right, right.
They only put them in twos, which was like fine, but it did feel a bit different. And then they tried to focus a little bit on Tom Paris at times and Balana when they
Which,
started to get together, which was,
again, those are
I would
your
say,
side characters. You're part of that main entourage, but they're not the primary focus.
yeah.
That's the
It
B
was weird
plot.
because at first I thought that Tom Paris is going to be the main focus of the story with Janeway and Chakotay,
I
and then
kind of
it
wondered if
completely
they were
went a
trying to go
different.
there in the first season,
I think they did.
and it didn't go there. And then they were going to fire Garrett Wong, but then he got uh, voted as one of the 20 up and coming people of whatever year that was, and they're like, ugh,
He
we
was
can't.
one of the sexiest people. I still don't
Sexiest
see
people.
it, but
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. Yeah, can't fire that guy. That doesn't look good, and hopefully that would bring more people in.
So
But
they
at the
kicked
same
off
time, we're
Cass.
never going to promote him.
Yeah.
What next, folks? What should we play? Yes, they should have promoted Harry. They should have promoted him when they promoted Tom, but no.
Tom made it, but like he was a nobody. He had no rank when he started. Like he was an outside observer. He was not even like an ensign or anything, and he jumped ahead
Um,
of.
what is
It's
it?
like
Is it?
what?
I think it's Star Trek
Ultimate.
Resurgence where they have Tom talking to Harry, going, "Oh, don't worry, Harry. I'm sure you'll get your promotion soon."
Uh, it
Famous
was like
last words.
never.
So what shall we do next? And what's the hell? Would you like to join us for some pew pew?
Hey, I'm on my Klingon.
Well, that would make 5 of us. We can make a private party out of it. If you want us to.
shall log to my
Okay.
fate.
I think they're trying to avoid leaving out one of the characters. That's exactly it, Cliff. They were trying to avoid leaving out one of the characters. With TOS, with Sulu and Chekhov, part of their contract was they were supposed to get at least one episode that focused
Very
on them. And Sulu was supposed to get one, but he wound up going off to do the movie The Green Berets. And so they rewrote it to be more Chekhov-centered. I can't remember which episode that was. That might have been the Gamesters of Triskelion. I don't remember it that well. But otherwise, it was always Kirk, obviously. And then you switch between McCoy and Spock, or a little bit of McCoy on Spock, and whatever your outside character was. Do we care what we're doing? Aside that from the fact that it has to be spacey, does anybody have anything they need to do?
I just need to do my disruptor damage. I'm in a ship with a lot of disruptors, so I just need some targets.
Grass, what have you got?
Dreadnoughts, Hive Onslaught was got my last endeavor
Oh,
I needed.
well, Cliff's going to check. I have 7 more destructible torpedoes, which I suspect will disappear when I go to do red alerts. I still need a movie suggestion for tonight. Otherwise, I will. Are you going to watch Academy each week or binge watch it? Mr. Dave, we're going to start next Friday night and watch the first episode, unless we've got 2 episodes out there by then.
I think there'll be 2, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll probably watch the 2 episodes next Friday night, and that will tell me if I'm going to try and binge watch it or what, because I already have Paramount Plus. So it's not like I have to buy it. But if you don't have Paramount Plus and you want to join the watch party, we'll be on next Friday night, 6:30. Which is why I need a movie for this week. But I tried binge watching Discovery. It doesn't work for me to binge watch stuff because I will get in that mood of, oh my goodness, you messed up that. I can't watch anymore.
I think season 5 is bingeable.
We just watched Galaxy Quest, Mr. Dave. Watched that like, what, a month ago? That was great. Galaxy Quest was excellent. Starship Troopers? Oh, we have Herald ships. I don't know where you were. We could do Starship Troopers, if I can find it tonight. Or, what else would be fun? Hot Shots. We did Spaceballs a couple of weeks ago. Wandering Earth.
You can rewatch.
Do Hot Shots as a double feature.
Hot Shots and Hot Shots Part D.
Indeed.
Yes, Part D is great because Ryan Stiles is in it. I love Ryan Stiles.
But he's also in the first one.
Is he? Oh my gosh, well then we definitely have to watch Hot Shots.
Or you can watch the original Stargate.
We could watch the original Stargate. That's a great movie too.
It is on them. It is on Paramount. Not on Paramount. It's on Prime.
It's on Prime. Good. Anything on
Should-
Prime we
should
can
be
watch.
on Prime.
And Hitchhiker's Guide. These are great suggestions. Love Hitchhikers. We need Herald ships. We have our choice between one of those and the other one of those. Which one is that? We have our choice between Herald Sphere and Gateway. What's our preference there? This is for Cliff. Cliff, you get to pick it.
Eeny, miny, mo.
Pardon?
Eeny, miny, mo.
Well, he gets to pick, and if he doesn't care, then I'll eeny, meeny, miny, mow it. I have to see if Hitchhikers is available, Mr. Dave. Yeah, we're trying to watch movies and stuff on Friday night rather than just doing Star Trek Online. Get your popcorn. Your choice. Okay. Wee woo.
Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Game 22, Grathor.
Well, because you know if Taz was here, he would be doing Herald Spheres. Taz isn't here, so we're going to do Gateway.
I love that. I know it's boring, but it at least doesn't have that much visual noise and isn't as confusing.
Yeah, Herald Sphere, for me, it's fine if I'm in a good ship.
The ships are definitely tougher in Herald Sphere.
And you have to have a little
Yeah,
bit more speed. Hence having Groswith, who's super fast in his ship. I don't know what the hell is in terms of zipping around there. But with Taz or Graz, and maybe even with you, Chris, my ships aren't
No, I have the
fast.
slowest ship you can.
No,
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 my ship is the slowest.
my ship is slow.
I'm in an arc.
I haven't flown it for a while. I don't like it still.
I like my ship. I just need to make it a little bit better for defense. Offense, it's fine. I had a haircut yesterday and they cut it too short. Then my glasses bang in the arm. Oh no. Well, the nice thing about your hair being cut too short, give it a couple of weeks. Take your multivitamins. Then it won't be. Oh no, your glasses broke? No. Oh no. That's terrible. Do you have a spare pair, I hope? I have a spare pair. They're horrible. They're scratched up, but they're my spares in case these break. I'll go left.
Me
I
too.
get the first.
Right, it's also good.
It's all gonna die anyway.
Striking is that my come off wheel will one day. Check too early.
Actually, I lied. I have a box of new glasses downstairs. They're just like readers, but that's good enough while I'm waiting for real glasses.
Well, I already done my disruptor damage and I had a lot of it to do, so that took very short.
Slowly getting my destructible torpedoes here. I can go planet side if you want, Chris.
Fine with whatever.
I think I'm going to take that out of there for the moment. Let's put you right there.
Did you hear that Vietnam has introduced a new law against ads?
No.
Whenever there's a video material of any
Mhm.
sort, there has to be a skip button after 5 seconds, always. There
Wow.
cannot be unskippable ads. They've also made sure that every ad can be you can exclude it from your timeline. If you don't like it, if it's triggering you for any reason,
Hmm.
there should be a way to prevent it from ever showing up for you again.
I like that. In
And I'm like,
theory, we
wow,
have that, but
Viet-
in reality, no.
and this is relatively big market enough for Google and stuff, so they will not withdraw just because they will not withdraw their marketing and their ad systems in from there. So I want to see what Google does because that's a good framework for every other country, whatever other
Mhm.
institution like EU for instance, to introduce following that idea because consumer needs to be first. If the consumer is bothered by an ad, it will deter them from the material because they will
Oh
just
yeah.
click out of it, and that's not good for the end, the one who's hosting the video and the product that is being advertised, and that should not be a thing. My point for personally thing, you always have a mobile phone and you watch YouTube sometimes on your mobile because you're outside of your house and you
Mhm.
want to see a YouTube video because someone sent something to you, and there's an ad popping up. That is being taken off my plan. I don't want my plan, my limited data plan, to be used for displaying ads.
Yeah. Yeah.
That takes data. There should be a way to circumvent that. And I don't care that it's free service, so you gotta pay for it somehow. Yeah, but I'm already paying for the
You're paying for
internet.
the data. Yeah.
I'm paying for the data plan. It should not deduct my data. Either it should not deduct my data for use of the transfer for the ad, or the ad should not display at all. Because I'm paying for that. I don't want ads to be used for my data. No, thank you. It's not like I don't have enough, but it's you know. still pay for it. I pay for what I want, not for what I don't want.
Yeah, it's like there should be at least a thing in the programming that can tell if you're on Wi-Fi or not.
Yeah.
It can tell if you're on Wi-Fi. It is very easily traceable and verifiable.
Yeah,
I
it's
have the
like
means
if
of
if you're on Wi-Fi,
yeah,
display
then
the ads.
ads
If you're
galore. But if I'm on
yeah,
data plan, no, ooh, thank you
yep.
very much.
If you're not connected to a Wi-Fi source, uh, ads are turned off unless you say, "Hey, I'll let me see that." Unless you say that.
Yep.
Yeah, there's some ads that, if you spend the time, you can go in there and block certain ads. Not all of them, but most of them. You can't block political ads, which I think is unfair.
I think it should be even more blockable than anything else.
Yep, I agree.
Political ads are propaganda. I
You
might
can
not have a
skip
wish
them,
not to see it.
but you can't block them.
I think we
So,
should be able to
when it
block
goes-
any type of content that we don't want to engage with. I'm fine with seeing like ads for McDonald's or like I don't know one of our like online stores that are showing their promotions and stuff. But I wish never to see like stuff directed at like I don't know children products or like baby products or adult products because I don't need to see ads for alcohol and stuff or cigarettes or whatever.
Honestly, I would really
Should be okay.
appreciate it if they would stop sending me ads for hospice, end-of-life care, and funeral
God.
homes. I am not that old.
You're getting those? Oh
I
my
am
God.
getting those. It's making me very unhappy. The hospice one at least has the grace of only being 15 seconds long, and it's just music.
That's
Still, really?
still not very nice.
It is not nice.
As if your phone no ads would try to tell you something. Jesus.
Well, obviously, it's got my data that says you are X years old and you just filed for Social Security and things like that. So clearly, we need to think about you dying soon.
I mean, it's good to have a plan for stuff like that, but still, like, come on, not through ads.
No, I don't want that. And I mean, the funeral home sounds very nice. And the weird part of it is it's a funeral home slash event center. So they host birthday parties and stuff, and I'm like, well, that's so weird. But in addition to all the funeral home stuff, they have their own concert hall. They have a jazz band that performs there regularly. I'm thinking, oh, please don't tell me advertise to local seniors.
Can you have a jazz band on your funeral?
Oh yeah, that's actually not unheard of here, Chris. Just so you know that. Very southern thing.
Jazz band?
Yeah.
That sounds like New Orleans.
Yeah, exactly. Big New Orleans thing.
Yeah.
I'm not a jazz person. I want heavy metal
like
at my
the
funeral.
music.
Thank you so much.
I like the music. I like jazz
Sabaton?
music.
Sabaton, yeah. That would be great. But
when you were talking about the funeral home also being an event center, I was like, please say tackle shop, fist bait shop. There's a book. There's an author that
We're done.
that I like listening to her books on audio. But she has it where it's like some family had opened up a bait shop, and this is like several years before the series began. The two brothers had one was doing a carpentry business that during the Spanish flu,
ooh,
and he started making caskets, and it just pretty much evolved into a funeral home, and he and his brother decided to have shack up in the same building, which was the building was also the bait shop.
hey, honestly, you get done with the funeral, you want to go fishing. I totally get that.
Yeah.
Well, funerals are super stressful. Definitely not a great experience. But going fishing afterwards, that would make it a lot better.
Oh yeah.
I don't know about anyone else, but just sitting there and fishing, even if you don't catch anything or don't even try to, it's just like,
it's like you kind of, at least mentally for me, it is stress relieving because you're holding the rod and you're kind of channeling all the stress into the rod
right,
and into the
exactly.
water.
I mean, that's why fishing is so soothing. Mr. Dave says, I'm okay with a cremation and a part to remember me by. So this is where you go with that one, Mr. Dave. There is a company called Life Gems that will take about a half pound of your cremations, what they call cremains. I love that term. They burn them down to pure carbon, and then they do home or lab-grown diamonds from the carbon. So you can get your ashes, part of your ashes, made into diamonds.
And
There
technically,
was a
yeah.
company called Holy Smokes, which you could contact with your cremains,
Oh my
and
God.
they would compress them into shotgun shells, into
Oh my
pellets.
gosh.
Oh my
I
God.
love it.
Well, that's one way to do it, I suppose.
I love that. That would
Well, I
be
remember
great.
with my dad, because he was like very atheist oriented. I always knew he wanted cremation and he didn't want a priest of any kind on his funeral.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily, we do have a master of ceremony institution here. I don't know if you have that, which just completely omits the, ritualistic, ceremonial part of the funeral,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like there's a guy who's just like, I mean, he was dressed appropriately to the occasion, not like a priest,
Mm-hmm.
not like in just a plain suit either. I don't remember what to call it. But it was quite interesting because the guy was just like talking about the passing and how we can take comfort in the concept of passing, that the people that we lose, they stay with us through the memories,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
that they're still we can still feel them around sometimes, and we should take comfort in that instead of despairing just out of plain loss, because just that's a natural part of life. And I remember that it felt like it was appropriate, I mean, I didn't have a very good bond or relationship with my dad because he divorced my mom sometime before he passed, so it was all on me to arrange it, and I was glad that I could at least have that sorted in a proper way, because I would like to be buried the same way I would like to be, according to my wishes. And
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah, I would really much like that kind of a ceremony if possible. So, cremation, easy peasy, no big coffin, no need for like choosing, oh, does it need to have diamond handhelds? Or like does it need to be golden laced or something? Do I have to take the material? Does it have to be silk inside? Like, I don't care. I'm dead.
Yeah.
Why don't you just put me into the smallest possible container after I'm burnt down to the ash? Because no one's going to have any use for my bones anyway, and just put it in a lovely jar or whatever, and just put it in the grave. Because
Let me
unfortunately, in
interrupt you
here
for
we
1
can't
second.
take it home.
Go back to bed, Mr. Dave. Get some rest. If you're around in about 11 and a half hours, we're going to be watching a movie. But I don't know which one yet. No, my husband, first of all, refused to acknowledge that he was indeed dying, which made it slightly more challenging to talk about what he wanted for final wishes. And I finally said, okay, we're going to do a party for you at this place that you love, the Renaissance Fair, because they do funerals and parties. He passed away. Called the place and they're like, we don't do that anymore. Oh my God, now what?
Now what?
Yeah, so we couldn't do the party there. All of his friends at this point had dispersed all over the U.S. His brother lived next door, so, I'm like, what are we going to do? And he's like, probably nothing. So we basically did nothing. My husband is still residing on the mantelpiece over my fireplace in a cardboard box and in a beautiful, beautiful vase that I had made for him, which is slightly too small. So I'm going to take the remains of the box, mix them with the ashes of his favorite doggo, and take him off to the jeweler and have a diamond made out of it. What I'm going to do with the diamond, I don't know. I was going to put it in his favorite watch, give it to my son. My son doesn't wear watches. Okay.
I see
Now
where your
what?
son comes from. I can't stand having a watch on my wrist.
I don't mind watches. I needed to wear them for years because of working in a hospital. And of course, now you have all the cool toys. You don't need to do pulses and count things off and respirations. You got machines that can do it for you.
Then a watch would make a especially nice thing to wear. And if you normally don't wear watches, because if you then wear watches for an occasion where you wear jewelry normally, you are never pressed for anything fitting for the occasion, because that watch with the diamond made out of your dad is always fitting for any occasion whatsoever.
That is actually an excellent point.
You have a watch you wear to your nice suit, and that is it.
He doesn't have a nice suit. But yeah, no, that's a valid point. Maybe I should, one, get him a nice suit, and two, get the watch fixed and have the diamond put in it. But I don't wear a watch. Wear this when we go out, because we go out for my wedding anniversary every year. Wear it once a year. Well, that's all you have to do. He'd probably go for that one. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. If you have movie ideas, let me know. I will try and figure out something. But we'll be back at 6:30 tonight to watch a movie. But which one, I don't know. Next week, we'll watch at least one episode of Starfleet Academy, which I suspect might need to bring a drink next week. We'll see about that one. Have a wonderful morning, everybody. If you need to do stuff, I'll be on and off throughout the day because we're supposed to have rain. Woo! So no walking the puppers. And let's get that soundboard open. On behalf of everybody here at Welcome to the Moopsyverse, I hope you have a wonderful morning, a great day, a wonderful night, and hopefully we'll see you in a few hours. But until then, stay moopsin'.
Moopsy.
Who are you? We are the knights who say...
Moopsy.